personal reason is the day they took my freedom of speech away from me is the day they forfeited any right to know who I am when I speak. I'm extremely angry about that. And the second reason is specific unto this day. You can ask me any questions that those who preceded me could not answer, because I am anonymous. For the time being anyway. The thought police will get me eventually if the blood pressure doesn't. And all this legislation came out that forbid me to speak about what was happening, why it was happening, who it was happening to, who was getting preferential treatment, how my country was being deconstructed, step by step. Primarily two statutory instruments on race and religious hatred and hatred on grounds of sex and gender. Being specific about Islam, its character, its actions. Everything that is censored in the press is censored in open debate. There is no open debate in public in this country anymore. You can still talk in your houses. That's the only place. Speak your mind on a tube train in the UK, you get arrested, your children taken away from you, and you end up in jail. It wasn't a very pretty. This was not an erudite young woman, but she'd reached a breaking point for some reason. Spoke on the train, they had her in. To my knowledge, she's still inside awaiting trial. The basic one, slavery. And to my mind, slavery of the body or slavery of the mind is abomination, and I will not have it. We got rid of it here 200 years ago, and now it's back. It doesn't come in wooden ships with chains these days. It comes in burqas and niqabs. It comes in honour killings. It comes in forced marriage, much of it consanguineous. It is an evil, and I use that word as an agnostic, secular humanist, much in the same sense as you as a Christian would use it. Islam is a belief system based on slavery, the foulest of all human predilections. Not in this land, whatever the price. And I think it's about time that the message got out. There are many of us thinking this way and speaking this way in private. And when enough speak up, we'll get our freedom of speech back. Islam is not a race. It's 1.5 billion people made up of every race and ethnic group on this planet. It's facetious to call anything to do with Islam racist. It's a theocratic political system. Nothing more, nothing less. It infuriates me. I mean, the least that they could do to us seculars who are trying to fight this is praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. The best you could do, you Christians, is beat your ploughshares into spears and stand beside us. Because the demographic is such, neither of us can stop it on our own. We have to do it together. We've got to stop slanging, the seculars and the religious have got to stop slanging each other, get together. This is a Judeo-Christian country, and it must remain so. One of our great writers, a man called G.K. Chesterton, wrote an epic poem, big, long epic poem, called The Ballad of the White Horse. And it's about the time of King Arthur. And there was a time in Arthur's life when everything was going wrong, every battle was losing. And he had a vision of the Virgin Mary one night. And he asked the Virgin Mary, what does the future hold? And she replied, I tell you naught for your comfort, yea, naught for your desire, save that the sky grows darker yet, and the sea rises higher. And that is where we are now. We're in a survival fight for our way of life. And if Islam triumphs, We face a 1,000-year Reich. Hitler didn't make it. Islam will. It's evolution resistant. It's backed itself into an evolutionary cul-de-sac and it's trying to drag us in with it. It must be stopped. When you go back, tell your American, tell our cousins over there, watch what is happening here. Whether we succeed or whether we fall, you can learn a lesson from it. Because the same storm clouds are heading your way.